Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Kim. This is Channeled Messages, and I'm going to explore the outcome of a few people. I'm going to explore the outcome of ICE. I'm going to explore the outcome of the government shutdown. A few other people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Linda McMahon and a couple of other people that some of you requested. Some of you requested like older, people like Obama, and I'm not gonna ask for that. They're fine, but they're not really. I don't want to say they're not important, but in terms of where we are presently, their voices are some of the people you asked about, sure, but someone like Obama, he'll be fine. He's fine. Not to say like anyway. Before I get into anything, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say is for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments, okay? And the disclaimer is already there in the description, honey, okay? More expanded, full words. Go read it if you need to. It's Saturday, and I hope you are enjoying the day. I hope you are doing something. Wait, it's no King's Day, so some of you might still be marching. So good for you. Good for those of you who are out there. I'm here. I'm at home, okay? Doing my work, doing my part the way I choose to. But other than that, I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you're feeling collectively, energetically okay. I hope you are doing something that's enriching you. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're being safe and engaging in some self-care. Okay? What was I going to say? Let me take these glasses off for now. I'm doing okay. I can't complain too much. I'm learning a lot of things about myself. Learning a lot of things about the world, actually. Not necessarily new things, but just things, that sounded suspicious, but what was I gonna say? I had something to say. Hold on. What was I gonna say? I'm just gathering my thoughts, guys. Bear with me, okay? I keep hearing the word deconstruct, because that's the last thing I thought was what I've been seeing in terms of this country. And I keep seeing, I'm just going to call them Republicans because that's what they are. Those who voted for the Republican Party are, having the regrets. And it's interesting, the energy overall that I feel. It's just like a lot of people have thoughts. A lot of people have like opinions or thoughts or what they're seeing. Different people who have different channels or podcasts or what have you. And I don't think what they say is wrong necessarily, not at all. But sometimes I'll be looking at something and I'll just be like, energetically, you're wrong. Or I'll look at something and I'll just be like I'm not an expert, but I'll just look at something and I'll be like, this is a little bit, there's a fine line between spewing fear, you know, promoting fear and information. And so I think sometimes we have to be careful of how we present information because it could really cause a lot of anxiety. But it's not my channel, so it's not my responsibility really to like tell people how to do and what information. I get it. You need to say things blatantly, like where we might be halfway in a dictatorship or, you know, but I also feel like you have to energetically what you're saying is not actually 100% factual. You know what I mean? So we got to be careful. That's what I've been noticing. Some things are just not helpful. Okay, so I hope that those of you who watch and consume social media, just be careful. Make sure, you know, check in with yourself and how you're feeling. Okay, take a break when you need to, shut it off and do something else. Our instinct is to always be informed, and that's great. But sometimes you have to step back. But back to deconstructing. So back to what I was saying. I just jumped all over the place. This is how my brain is, guys. I apologize. But I've been watching a lot of Republicans who have voted for Republicans and who have the regrets. And it's very fascinating to me. It's just like when you hear them speak. I'm speaking from a perspective of someone who I vote Democrat because I vote, you know, I align with what they align with. Okay, on, you know, for what it's supposed to be. And I, you know, the people vote, Republicans vote, the large majority of them, for things that are just so groceries. I get it. I'm not, and it, you know, we all want our groceries to be lower, but in the grand scheme of things, there are more important things that you should be paying attention to. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to lecture anyone. But my main point is that now they're having the regrets because they like I said, the those who are in rural states will be the ones most affected because they already were very affected because of who runs their state locally. Okay, they don't take care of their people the way they're supposed to. I as a social worker know what is needed there because just mental health alone, there is a lack of resources because the state doesn't provide the way it should. So they were the most affected, and so now they're seeing this sort of trickle down. These hospitals being closed, families being, you know, taken off their Medicare rolls, and people being kicked out of nursing homes, and you know, just terrible, terrible stuff, awful, terrible. And so now they have the regrets, and they somehow misconstrued how government works, where any policy that's passed, you either benefit from it, everyone benefits, or everyone's affected. It's just how America is, okay? Democracy, people. You do not get different policies from a Democrat, or you do not get different policies. We all are under the same umbrella, okay? But what I'm saying is they have the regrets because it's affecting them, and they're beginning to apologize. There's one thing I saw of a man, you know, saying he is sorry and he's voting Democrat moving forward, and he's been lied to, and the Republicans don't care about the people. I've been looking at things, talking to people. Democrats clearly care, blah, 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 blah. And he said something that struck me, and he said, "I'm sorry I hurt your feelings." I'm looking at this man. It was a white man, and I'm saying, yeah, I could feel in his energy as I'm looking at him. He was genuine. He was genuine in his words. But that's what I'm talking about. I want people to understand that when y'all say, oh, they're waking up, sure, if that's how you want to perceive it. But the reality is that it's not about that. It's about deconstruction. A lot of them are waking up for selfish reasons. And I'm not going to say, well, this is what you voted for, because that's the thing. Like, yes, that's what they voted for, but also he cheated to get into. So that is another thing where I'm like, energetically, what you're saying is wrong. When I see certain things, certain channels talk about politics, I'm like, but he cheated. Overall, at the end of the day, that is the truth. But anyway, the truth I will never let go of. We know it. People know it. Okay? And so there's all this focus on these Republicans and their anger and their quote unquote waking up and being upset and blah, blah, blah. But there has to be a reckoning. There has to be complete deconstruction of your ideology. We're here because of racism and white supremacy. That is the main culprit. And anyone who voted Republican, okay, not just white people, but it's because of racism. It's because of the power of white supremacy. That's why we're here. Ultimately, it's not about money. It's not about financial anxiety. It's not about people quote unquote coming here in a way that anyway. In order for you to truly change, you have to change completely, and that's with anything. Change takes time. It's really a process. The stages of change. Look that up. It's a gosh, what is it called? It's a therapeutic process. Okay, and the stages of change could be tailored to anyone in the mental health journey, in their mental health journey, but mainly it is used for people who have substance abuse issues, okay, which is mental health as well. But the stages of change is a process. Pre-contemplation, when you don't think you have a problem, when you don't notice that something is wrong. You might be thinking like, oh, but you're not sure. And then contemplation is pre-contemplation is denial, okay? When you move into the stage of contemplation, that's when you finally realize, okay, something is wrong, which is where a lot of Republicans who are making these videos on social media and sort of recognizing that something's wrong here. We were lied to. But the interesting thing about contemplation, the stage of contemplation, is that you're not quite ready to change. Because with contemplation, you're not quite ready. You, don't know what to do, okay? And then you're not quite ready to go that next step. You're not ready to take the action to actually change, to move into changing. So that means really looking at your ideology. It means looking at your the origins of your belief. It means looking at, it's more than, you didn't hurt people's feelings. You didn't. You cheered on hatred and terror. Fear, That's what you did. And you wrapped it into, you were completely blinded by this idea that you are oppressed, and anyone who steps up to say hey, we're marginalized, which is the reality. You don't want that. So those are things you have to explore when it comes to the stages of change. So a lot of them are in contemplation stage where they don't really fully want to change yet. They recognize that something is wrong. Okay. It says the individuals are aware of the problem and is thinking about changing, but has not yet committed to a plan. Okay. So that's where a lot of them are. This sort of contemplation. And a lot of times when people think about changing, when they think about change and changing, they really, when they're in the contemplation stage, they stay there for a long time. They stay there for a while, okay? And sometimes when you're with the stages of change, you go back to a stage. Some people might go back to pre-contemplation, like the guy in the Purple Revolution. His reaction was so visceral to people saying, well, these are the things that you would have to change in order for us to trust you. And just his reaction, his response just showed that he wasn't ready for true change. Is hard because you have to challenge your beliefs. And that's with anything, not just Republicans, but people who want to change. You're challenging something inside of you that's at your core, and that's uncomfortable. So they have to. That's why I'm just like, when people are like, oh, they're waking up, and I'm like, no, they're not. No. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to deconstruct everything that led you to this moment of you crying on your phone about what you are going through. You have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to learn and understand, or you'll be in contemplation stage forever, which is cool if you do the work. Okay? Look up the stages of change. It's very interesting. I'm saying these things because a lot of you ask me about them. A lot of you ask me about them, and a lot of you talk about them waking up and how they're changing. And I'm telling you, they're not. And I don't mean that because I dislike them. No, I don't like them. I don't like what they believe. I don't like how they behave. I've worked with Trump supporters before in the past. I've been their therapist because I have ethics and values I have to follow. As long as you respect me. I have sat across a man with a Trump shirt back in 2017. He was an elderly man, very depressed. Had some alcohol issues, and I worked with him. Okay, so, I want everyone to have rights. I want everyone to be treated equally. That's the difference between me and them. And that's something they have to contend with, for real. Waking up is, this whole, the way they colonized the phrase woke, and that's just what they do to denigrate something, this idea, but truly waking up, really having an awakening is saying, wow, something's wrong. And really, really going deep and looking at yourself and deconstructing your beliefs and being willing to let go of a lot of what you believe and to look at the truth. So will they move out of contemplation stage? Some of them have, a lot of them have, but then they're steeper, Will they move into preparation stage, when you're ready to take action and plan on how to make a real change for the near future? Okay, so look that up if you're interested. It's a very interesting way to tie in. When you guys ask me this about your family members or who are Republican or just the Republican Party in general, will they change and this, that, and and I always tell you, I say no, because there's something very pervasive there. It's more than just saying, oh, I'm voting Democrat now. Sorry I hurt your feelings, your little petty differences. And you're like, but there are people being terrorized. People are just walking the streets. People that just came here who are not criminals, who came here for either a better life or to provide for their families, or that should have been your line. You have to develop empathy. It's not about you losing Medicare or Medicaid or hospitals closing or gas prices or groceries. In the grand scheme of things, it's not about that. Unfortunately, it's not, because we will always have to pay for groceries or gas or whatever. I get it. It's hard out in them streets, but that's not what it's about. And that is the reality. Stop saying we just have differences. We don't. You don't want people to exist. You don't want people to have rights. You don't want people to live without terror. We shouldn't be this way in America. That's what y'all, the land of the free, right? And home of the brave. Anyway, child, let me go. That is the end of my TED Talk about stages of change. Let's get into it, okay? All right, so I apologize if this is too much for some of y'all. I know y'all come here for readings, but I'm changing. I've changed. I haven't changed. I shouldn't say that, but I'm being more vocal than what I usually am, because it's time. I feel it. I feel the shift. Okay. I think it's informative. Okay. Anyway, let's look at these people and these things. Okay. How long have I been speaking, first of all? $22. Cool. Y'all say y'all like my talking, my intro, so I appreciate that. Okay. Oh yeah, don't forget to read the book 1984. We're in that moment too. Okay. They want us to be, but I'm not gonna. Energetically, we're not. Okay. What is happening surfacely, it looks like it, but energetically, it's not the truth. That's what I mean when I'm like, well, you're wrong. Anyway, let's take a look at ICE and what's going on with them. Maybe I'll do a video about the stages of change and how it relates to Republicans. Even Democrats. There's things they have to change too. But I'm not going to go too much on them. Because they're not just laying on the ground anymore. Energetically, that has changed as well. Okay? ICE. What will be the outcome of them? These people... this is a... what is it called, guys, when like when they... Back in the day, the olden times, they would, like, gather up... You would have, like... Let's say they are... what were they called? Like, they're trying to find a like in the Wild West, when they're trying to find, I don't know, a bank robber, a criminal, and they find out that the person is in their town, and words are just hard for me sometimes, and they round up a posse, to find these people, but it's called something else. That's what ICE is. Bunch of I'm just using this as, like, I know they're not actual farmers, okay, but like just random people thrown together in a group because they're hateful. You know, they're so a lot of them I'm sure are like failed. They tried to join the police force and they just like failed. You know, losers couldn't find a job, just like racist clan members, perhaps. Um, or just want to feel good about themselves in some way, like, or the dregs of society. Um, that sort of thing is the energy they give off. And I know y'all are like, who is this person talking? This is me. And I will keep it real with you guys, okay? That's what they give off energetically. And it really reminds me of the Nazis, because a lot of people may not know that a lot of, when the Nazi Party was first developed, they, the members of the Nazi Party were like the dregs of society. They were like the outliers, people who, criminals, soldiers who were just like, dishonorably discharged from the military, the German military, like sociopaths, like the dregs. Those were the ones, the top members, like when they started out, like goons, essentially. And that's what ICE is now. Okay, when you see them, and you could tell there's just no, there's they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the law. They don't care about the law. They aren't well trained. They're not in shape. They're just a posse. They're a gang. Okay, and so energetically, I talked about this briefly during Q&A, what I see for them, and they they are doing really terrible things. I could tell you. I mean, you don't have to be psychic, but their lie is going to come out because there are people watching them, but they don't know. Um, there are people coming out. Okay, a lot of what they don't know. But let's see what will happen to ICE. What will be their outcome? He's saying energetically that will fall apart. Okay, that's what he's saying. He's saying they'll fall apart energetically. And what? Why are you showing me? It's showing me an image of a tire on fire. Just, when you see a tire as rolling, kind of like in those movies where it's a dystopia. But I'm not being shown a dystopia. And you just see a random tire rolling by on fire. That's what I just saw, strangely enough. He's saying it's a tire fire, and he's saying like a tire fire is like a toxic, with the toxic smoke and fumes, and he's saying that's what they represent. He's telling me to look. She says it means something symbolically. It's like he's saying this tire fire the smell will become so great, like intoxifying, that more people will really pay attention to it in a way. Like they won't be able to turn away from it. Those who may be turning away from it. Like chaos. Chaos, an out of control situation. He's within the next year. He's saying the people will fight back. He's saying it's going to be so chaotic. A destructive end. Is that what that means? The tire fire? Militia. That's the word. I just heard the word militia. He's saying they're using ice, right? They're using ice and they're using the quote unquote undocumented as a guise to cause, and we know this, right? We've put two and two together as a guise to cause terror in these cities. I swear to you guys, this is like, they're trying to implement these phases, but they're failing. Why are they failing? He said because they're not very smart. He said it's the blind leading the blind. He said they're trying to confuse people. But we are not participating in the way that they want us to. So it makes it hard for them to, because they're trying to. What I'm being shown is they're trying to do these things in phases. They're trying. It's like, and that's so funny because I've always mentioned like, oh, phases. They're trying to like experiment. Show me their outcome. Let's see the visual. All right, so, okay. All right, this is this way. Okay. Show me the outcome of ice. You said a tire fire, which is, it has black smoke and toxic fumes, and it represents chaos, you know. Okay. King of Swords, Knight of Cups. This is the same cards I pulled before when I talked about them in the Q&A. Similar cards. Two of Wands. Show me Ice's outcome. Whoa, you see these cards jumping out my hand? These are too many. Okay. Knight of Cups. Temperance. Balance being brought. The Devil. Let's cover up these nakedness. The Devil. Page of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Four of Wands. The Hierophant. This talks about balance being brought back. Give me this is what and the Two of Pentacles is on the bottom here. And the Eight of Wands in reverse. This is a card that I just saw. I kept seeing it just now when you saw me trying to fix the deck. And I kept looking at this card because this is the only card in reverse. It's the Eight of Wands in reverse. And so the Eight of Wands in reverse is really about... Eight of Wands upright is progression, quick movement, things happening fast, things changing fast. This is in reverse. It's about progress, the Eight of Wands. Is in reverse here. This message here talks about balance and healing. Order being brought back. Okay? Give me a clarifier for the Devil. Ace of Swords. One more. Ten of Cups. Give me the ultimate outcome. Ten of Cups. This is like families reuniting. Harmony, balance. Okay. Ace of Swords for the Devil. Temperance is next to the Devil. You see this angel? Okay. Temperance is a card of peace, a card of harmony, okay, a card of healing and balance. Balance being brought. Things are very out of balance, okay, when you look at immigration. And these cards here are really saying that balance is going to be brought back. Ultimate outcome, Six of Wands. I told you, Ice isn't going anywhere. They're going to rebrand it. They're going to rename it. It's going to be called something else because this fiery end, this destruction they have, that's going to be all the things that they, that they're doing is going to come out. It's going to be really bad. But the outcome, this Ace of Swords, truth, is on top. This is a clarifier for the Devil. This is Ice, okay? This Ace of Swords on top, the truth coming out. Social media posts, communication, things coming out. Two of Wands and Three of Wands. Two of Wands is plans implemented. You have the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. You have the Hierophant with the Four of Wands on top. And then you have the Eight of Wands in reverse. This Three of Wands is like, this could be people deported. Okay. Three of Wands is a card of travel and overseas. People being brought back. With the Page of Pentacles is a slow, I said this a long time ago too. As I'm looking at this, I'm starting to remember I pulled similar cards when I talked about that very first case way back. How it would be slow for this person to come back. And that's the same energy here. But it's a balance. Okay. The Temperance card is the major card here. The overarching energy. Temperance, healing, transition, balance. We'll get that balance back. Okay. But they're going to rebrand themselves. They will. Did you guys have you looked on a government website now? I had stumbled upon one of the .govs, and I thought it was a gossip blog. I didn't know that's what I was looking at. The way it was worded, it was so. I was like, what am I looking at? It was a government website full of propaganda. It was full of it wasn't informative. Like, you would go on a government website and you'd be like, oh yeah, this information. No, it was like a gossip, propaganda. But that's ice, y'all. A lot has to. Oh, man, it all starts with this essence going. But yeah, they y'all asked about consequence. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. They're gonna have to rebrand, but balance will be brought back. That's what's most important. Okay, balance will be brought back. Harmony will be brought back. Healing will be brought. This is what will come from this. These people, this terribleness. A lot of people will be fired. A lot of people will be left holding the bag. Anyway, next person. Let me look at the time. Let me hurry up. All right. Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek. I hope I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Anyway, this man tried to run for the Republican nomination for president because he don't want to pay his bills. So that's what he does. Okay. He's an Indian American man who is a Republican. He loves Donald Trump so much. And he don't want to pay his bills. So he's just trying to hop into any race that he can so he could avoid paying them bills. Or pay them through, He's trying to run for governor of Ohio. Is it governor or mayor? I remember seeing, he He's such a scammer. But they don't want him because he's not a Christian, quote unquote. Child. Okay. Vivek is running for governor. I wish I could just be like, let me run for governor so I don't have to pay these bills. Yes, he is running for governor of Ohio. And they're like, sir, we don't want you because we're racist, but we're just going to say because you are not a Christian and we don't trust you because your skin is brown and you're not a Christian. Okay? I mean, they didn't say it exactly like that, but that's what they were saying. That's the vibes they was giving. Okay? So let's see if let's see his outcome. For me, he's just not likable. He's dishonest. He don't want to pay his bills. He's a scam artist. And you just randomly decided, I'm going to just try to run for governor of Ohio. Why not? I don't think does Donald Trump endorse him? I don't know. Who knows? What's this? Oh, show me. Okay. Is that in reverse? No. I don't think that's the card. Because I wasn't even really focused. What is his out? Will he win his governor's race? No, he will not. I see a lot of upset. He looks upset. He looks upset. There's no one. They're wearing hats, and they just look at a screen. Show me the outcome of his governor's race. You know who I should have did? Mom Donnie instead of this man. Knight of Wands. Will he win? Will he win? Nope. We got Judgment. We got 5 of Pentacles. We got 3 of Wands. 8 of Pentacles wanted to come out, child. They said that's his card. We got Knight of Cups. Nope, Page of Cups. We have Judgment. We got 2 of Swords here. Feels like stuck energy. Temperance. My ears are ringing. 9 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. 3 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. A lot of stuck energy. 8 of Pentacles. It feels like it feels stuck. Show me the ultimate outcome for him. It's like he's gonna put up a big fight, but what is that? Page of Swords. 9 of Cups. 2 of Pentacles. I don't know. Oh, 5 of Cups. Yeah, it feels like okay. I know what you're telling me. I understand. I understand. I understand. It's an arrogance he has. The Judgment is the key card here. Where are you? Right here. This card here, the Judgment card, is the key card in this entire reading. And the Temperance card. Okay, there's two major cards here. And there's something surrounding him energetically where he has the stuff. Okay? He got the stuff. But he don't got the stuff. There's stuck energy here because of his karma, because of how you have 2 5s here, right? There's an arrogance here. He's the greedy merchant. He don't want to pay his bills. He want to live in a lap of luxury. He wants to drink fancy wines and sit up there and smell flowers, and that's why he's not going to win. Okay, but on the flip side, he has the I don't even know. He's kind of not smart though. He's not dumb, but he's not smart. He's a like a grifter. He speaks a good game. Okay, so he has the energy to govern. I don't know. He has the energy to like sell things on the Home Shopping Network because he speaks really, he speaks a good game. But in the bigger stage, he don't got that. That's why the 5 of Pentacles is in between the 8 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. He's looking for the result, but you got the 5 of Pentacles there blocking you. Okay? All right? You got the 5 of Cups energy here. You have the Page of Cups energy here. Like you're delusional. Okay? You're arrogant, you're greedy. There's this, he's I don't want to say that. He's like a, like if he was selling knives, he'd be successful. If he was selling, he could convince, but you got too much bad karma. Your attitude is the energy. His attitude doesn't push the energy. He doesn't have that essence. Okay? He's not going to win. All right, that was Vivek. Let's look at Democrats and Republicans in this government shutdown. Okay, some of these people I'm kicking off. Susie Wiles, Scott, how you say his name? I don't know how to say his name, but he's dumb. But let's look at this. Let's see. Nope. Let's do this one. Let's see how the Democrats will fare. What did I say? 2 or 3 weeks for the shutdown? They're trying to blame the Democrats and y'all the one in charge. Outcome. Democratic outcome. Outcome for the Democrats regarding government shutdown. Let's see what's coming for them. How they, what's their outcome? The last time I did this, the outcome looked good. Power, them getting some concessions that they wanted. Things of that nature. Three of Wands, honey child. 3 of Wands came up a lot today. Y'all notice that? 3 of Wands is about foresight. That's why he had the 5 of Pentacles there, that Vivek. He doesn't have foresight. 3 of Wands is like you see out into the horizon. You have a good foresight. Okay? So, all right. They got the 3 of Wands. Let's keep looking. I have a very interesting inkling about, hold on, let me focus. All right, Democrats. Give me 2 more shuffles. Okay. Seven of Cups on the bottom. Choices. Making the right choice. 10 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Very nice. Lots of Pentacles. That's their energy as well. Okay, top and bottom. Ace of Swords. 6 of Wands. Oh. The Tower. 6 of Pentacles. Y'all are like, the Tower. 4 of Swords. They're tired. But no. Deep contemplation. Queen of Swords. You got the Ace, Queen, and a 4. 9 of Pentacles. Tower's in between the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. 2 sixes. Support. Six, 3 sixes. 5 of Cups. The World. This person got clothes on. No, they don't. They're topless. Okay. And these on the bottom. Let me see what this last one is. 4 Cups. Yeah, they're like, nah. They are like, no. The Devil. 3 of Swords, okay? They're like, no. I can see that. These are theirs too. 7 of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Okay? Give me a clarifier for the Tower, please, because I have an idea of what you're trying to tell me. Then I'll consult, I guess you could call it. King of Swords on the bottom. 4 Wands. Foundation. Tower is a clarifier. Foundation cracking. Foundation. 8 of Swords. 3 of Cups. 10 of Wands. Into burdens. 5 of Pence. 6 of Cups. Very interesting. All right, let me ask. Okay, this is their action. This is what I said last time, and this is what I was just told. This here is the action. Are you saying, because it sounds, they're saying like it'll be some big gains and perhaps some big losses. Do you mean like they will concede? Okay, so he said, I heard, no. It's about deconstructing the foundation. So this is what they're doing with the Tower. This is their behavior. This is their actions that they are taking. They know what's at stake, right? They know, but the six of Pentacles is about charity, support, give and take. Okay, and then you have the 6. You have so many 6s here. 6 is a healing, you know. It's a number of support. You have the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Swords here. Okay, all these Pentacles. They know what's at stake is what this is saying, and they are shaking by not giving in or not negotiating necessarily. They're negotiating, but they're saying no. Like a stalemate, not giving in. Tower is also about, not only is it about deconstructing, but it's about shaking things up. Okay, that's what it's about. And so, as the 4 of Wands is a clarifier, with the Tower crumbling by their not giving in, so a better foundation could go there. Because you have the World. You have the World. Things coming full circle, you know, you accomplishing your goal. You have the 6 of Wands. It's like they know what's at stake. You have the Ace of Swords. This is the foresight here. It started with the 3 of Wands, which is about it's about results, waiting for results. But it's also about foresight and looking ahead and knowing what's important, knowing what's coming to you, okay? 3 of Wands is a card of action. It's a card of progress, expansion, and growth, okay? Ace of Swords is how you communicate. Lots of talking going on. A Queen of Swords. They know what's important here. 4 of Swords is like, oh, you know, they might be burnt out mentally. But also, they're also deeply contemplating change and expansion. And how could we get what we need with the 7 of Pentacles here. 7 of Pentacles is about growth. Okay, you have the 4 of Cups here. They're saying no. Because they know what's important. Is what this message is. So their outcome ultimately is the World. As I'm looking at the surrounding cards, by them not doing much in terms of, I'm not saying they're not doing anything, but by them perhaps shaking up, not giving, you know, not conceding, that's the Tower. In order to rebuild a foundation, because you have 7 of Pentacles there, you have the 6 of Swords there, you have the World there, you have the 6 of Pentacles there, you have the 6 of Wands there. It's all about, and you have the 3 of Wands that started off. It's all about growth and expansion. Okay, 10 of Pentacles is about their legacy. You have both the 7 and the 9 of Pentacles. So their outcome is growth and expansion. Okay? But it'll be tough. It's not, you know, towers aren't easy. Whether you sound very uncomfortable. Whether you're shaking something up or it's just coming down because it needs to. But you have the World. Let's look at the Republicans. Okay, show me their outcome. Knight of Swords flew out of my hand. Towers aren't the most comfortable thing, even if you're the one that is doing the construction and shaking. But regardless of what it is, it has to happen. Okay, Republican. All right. 3 of Swords on the bottom. 3 of Swords. Let's see, what's up? What else is there? Same thing. Ace of Cups, 9 of Swords, worst nightmares coming true, 10 of Wands into burdens. Queen of Wands, the Chariot in reverse. Got the Knight of Swords. They're trying to be strategic, but let's see what the 10 of Cups. The Devil. I might have to shuffle again. Yeah. She's the same. This time, Judgment in reverse. Oh, you guys. Oh. The Devil. Ace of Swords. Same cards. I thought I was getting the same cards. Judgment in reverse. And y'all saw I checked those cards. Judgment in reverse. The Tower. They got the Tower too. The Lovers. They have a choice to make. They have a choice to make. What is the choice? I need to cover this nakedness. It's not long enough. I'll just use 2. You're probably like, why she got... They're naked, guys, okay? I'm not trying to get another warning or a strike from YouTube. Okay, the Lovers. Oh. King of Pentacles. Queen of Swords, same as the Democrats. 2 of Wands. Knight of Cups. The Fool. I'm going to do a... Okay, 3 of Swords. This is their card. Ace of Cups. Okay. 9 of Swords. 10 of Wands. Queen of Wands. And Chariot in reverse. Okay. Give me a clarifier for the Tower, please. Judgment in reverse. They have similar cards, but the story feels different. They got that. They always have the Devil in their energy. And the Devil, you know, it kind of poisons the surrounding cards. Not all the time, you know. Clarify for the Tower is the 8 of Wands in reverse. And the 5 of Wands on the bottom. Conflict. And the World is there. Okay. So yeah, I mean they may have some things. Okay, hold on. Let me. What is this? Before I needed validation. Saying they're stuck. They're stuck. This here, eight of Wands is progress. Quick progress being made. Good news coming for you. You know, goals being met. Expansion and growth happening. And the clarifier it's in reverse for the Tower. You got the Judgment in reverse is Judgment is a card of, it's a spiritual awakening. It's, you know, you learned your lesson. You're ready to take responsibility. You know? I'm just getting some validation. My stomach's growling. Yeah. Unwillingness to change. Of self-doubt. You're not, you know, delayed awakenings. That's what I was saying here. That's what the devil energy is there for. That's what clouds their ability to make the right choices for their constituents, is the devil. The Judgment card is an angel blowing a trumpet. And at the bottom of the, you know, the Judgment card is the people awakening, saying, falling to their knees and taking responsibility, or, you know, waking up. It's a card of karma. It's in reverse. Bad judgment, bad discernment, you know. No integrity. And the Judgment card encourages those things because it says, you know, the trumpet is being blown. You know, it's time. It's time now. It's a major card. It's the most prominent energy when you have those major cards. The devil shades it all. You have the devil between the Ace of Swords, which is a card of truth. You communicate the truth. You communicate facts. It's mental expansion and growth. Okay, strategic planning. New beginnings for mental clarity. The devil is in between that and the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is about balance and harmony, you know, content, satisfaction, emotional stability, and emotional growth and awareness. And, you know, it's a 10. You have the Knight of Swords there. They're using some mental strategic planning, or trying to, but the Fool is on top of it. So they're kind of like, you know, the Fool is interesting because the Fool is about new beginnings. It's also, I kind of look at the Fool as like the Fool. Let me get a clarifier for that. You know, the Fool is not necessarily a bad card. Okay? It's a major card. It is about new beginnings. It says the road is paved here, but you have the Knight of Swords at the bottom, and then the Knight of Cups. Is that the Knight of Cups? Yeah. The Knight of Cups beside it. Knight of Cups, man. The Knight of Cups, they're just, also there's a lot of emotion here too. They're more emotional than the Democrats, actually. That's why they get all these cups. Give me a clarifier for the Fool. Oops, I almost flipped over. If it's, you know, if it comes up. I didn't see what it was, though. It might have been the Four of Cups. Clarifier. Four of Wands. they're trying to get, they're they're trying to get a new beginning. They're words. First of all, you hear me stuttering, but what this is saying to me, what I'm hearing is like this is not the moment for the fool's energy. And this situation is not where you want to be when you want to be in the fool's energy. Taking a leap of faith, like, no. That's not it. That ain't it for balance that they're trying to get. But yeah, they're trying. They're trying to implement. They're trying, but it's stall outs. Is, Three of Swords. The Chariot in reverse. I mean, come on. Three of Swords, Ace of Cups. Nine of Swords. Ace of Cups in between the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords. A lot of anxiety here, okay, in their energy. Ten of Wands. They're trying to end this. This is burdensome to them. Queen of Wands. They're being spicy. But then the Chariot is in reverse. They're like not really fighting the way you're supposed to. Even their options might be limited. I said that before. Okay, with the Tower there and the Eight of Wands in reverse. They're focused on money with the King of Pentacles. They're really trying to be they're trying. I could tell you that. They're trying to get their stuff in there, but the Knight of Cups here is a lot of emotion, it's a lot of delusion, and the devil is poisoning all of this. Because they have the Queen of Wands here in this energy. The Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. And the Queen of Swords. But look, the devil is crossed the Queen of Swords. The Ace of Swords is next to the devil. The Ten of Cups is next to the devil. The Two of Wands is on top of the devil. The Knight of Cups is across the devil. It's a mess. Their reading is more karmic. Their reading is more karmic. The mic was away from my face. But, it's more karmic for them. My stomach's growling. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they're not gonna have the success that they want because they're doing it in a way that won't serve them. Interesting. They're surprised that the Democrats are, and there's an emotional reaction underneath, delusion with the Knight of Cups there. We're over time. It's about to be a movie. Hour and 10 minutes. You guys got 10 more minutes? I want to do Linda McMahon. Who is somehow in charge of our education department. Somehow. Not somehow, I know how. What's her outcome? She's a billionaire. She is legally married to Vince McMahon, but I believe they live separate lives because, you know Vince McMahon, right? Not the paragon of, anyway. Linda McMahon, what's her outcome? They're there are other people, like, this is clearly, you have her son-in-law getting involved. They're focusing on this fitness nonsense. And if you watch the WWE, I used to be a casual watcher. I am a huge wrestling fan. Just a little bit of my lore. I don't think I've ever talked about that, but little fun fact. Okay, I don't watch it. I don't watch them because it is the idea that whatever's going on in the country reflects what you see in the WWE is so true. It is MAGA city over there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I don't watch it. I'll look at clips, I'll listen to podcasts who does reviews, but y'all not getting my eyeballs or my money. But so yeah, she loves, they have a good relationship, WWE and Donald Trump. She loves Donald Trump. I don't know if she loves that man, but clearly you decided you have no business being the secretary of anything except for anything that has to do with, I know you were the, was she the CFO? I'm not saying you're not intelligent, but you don't know what you're doing. They just threw you in there. Okay? You're not interested in the Department of Education. Anyway, what's her outcome? I could tell y'all this. They are about to be sued. Okay? This whole getting rid of special education, and this is not a psychic. This is my brain and my knowledge. They're about to be sued by numerous people for trying to get rid of special education. You can't do that. They think they can. They're going to be tied up in courts trying to deal with this. Do you know what special education pays for? Everything. The way the system works, if you have a child who, let's say, needs accommodations, that's under special education. They have to be classified. They have to be assessed in order for your state to pay for it. And it is hundreds of thousands and thousands of dollars. And you think you're just going to take away special education and parents are not going to get up in that ass? Excuse my French. Advocacy groups. It is the law. It is the Constitution. It is up in there. You're going to have a real problem on your hands. That's what they do. They say things to confuse people, to make people think they can actually do it when they can't. No, they will not be able to do that, is the question. Will they be able to get rid of special education? No. She's going to fly under the radar, Linda McMahon. But I see her stepping down, especially after this. This is a problem. This will be a big, 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 big problem on her hands. Because it's not only people who just can't afford shit. Okay? It's anyone. Whether you could live in a big house. You could, it's literally how you get your child services without having to pay tens of thousands of dollars. It's transportation, all of those things. The state pays for it because your child is under the umbrella of special education. So, good luck. But that's going to be a problem for her. Show me her outcome. This is what I'm being told. This is not just from my brain, just from my working in this system. This is going to be a problem. This is going to cause a huge, and they do things. That's the Fool energy. That's the Queen of Wands energy. That's the Devil energy, because they do these crazy extreme things, and they think they. I'm not saying it can't happen, because when you look at history does repeat, but we're in a different, energetically is what I want y'all to listen to. We are in a different space. Even if our eyes are telling us something differently, energetically we are somewhere else. This won't stand. Knight of Cups in reverse is the first card that jumped out. What is her outcome? She will have to step down. I keep hearing it. She will have to step down. Linda McMahon's outcome. Judgment. Strength. Page of Swords. Magician. Ten of Swords. 5 of Wands. Well, I tell y'all she's gonna have a problem. When you mess with people's, when you mess with parent children, and it's not cutting after school program, it's literally yanking services for your special needs children. Classroom monitor, teacher's assistant, not paying tens and thousands of dollars for transportation, special transportation, resource. Therapy. I have to shuffle again because these are the same cards. If it comes up again, those are her cards. Those are the same cards from before. If it's 3 or more, I shuffle. If they come up, then that's the card. Special education is connected to so much, and you want to gut that like a Nazi, because those children don't matter. The Hierophant, yeah, the same. The World. It's almost topless. These are the same cards that came up. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. 3 of Pentacles. Page of Wands, 2 of Cups. Give me the ultimate outcome. I'm going to need some clarifiers too. Give me the ultimate outcome for Linda McMahon. Interestingly enough, Seven of Wands, she's gonna have to defend herself, child. Is this reverse? Yes, it is. Ace of Cups in reverse. The Tower in reverse, child. I have to shuffle these. These aren't the cards. This deck is out of order. Okay. Oop. same cards. If they come up, those are her cards. You talk about heartless. Ooh. Nine of Swords. Seven of Cups. The Hermit. King of Wands. Yeah. Knight of Swords. What's on the bottom? I think I saw the Two of Wands on the bottom. Two of Wands. Six of Wands. Death. Two of Swords. What is that? I want a... Look, you have this. The Hierophant and the Five of Wands. I told you they're going to get in that. These advocacy groups. They're going to get in that. You know what? Give me a clarifier for the Hierophant. She's going to, like I said, she's going to fly under the radar. The Chariot. She's going to fly under the radar. Give me a clarifier for... Is that the World? The World. Page of Swords. Give me a clarifier for the Five of Pentacles. The Sun on the bottom. Is this the card you wanted? Knight of Wands in reverse. Three of Pentacles. Yeah. Trying to privatize the entire government is what I'm being told here. Okay? Trying to privatize the Department of Education. But, you know, the interesting thing about, like, they get funding, but they also get funding from government subsidies, these schools. Those kind of schools. Not all of them, but a good... She will fly under the radar. But there's going to be a lot of issues here. I will tell you this. Energetically, inside, she didn't imagine it would be this way. The Knight of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Swords there. Hey, she's dealt with scandals. She worked, she's the wife of Vince McMahon. Lots of confusion. She doesn't know what she's doing. At a crossroads, okay? Not a lot of change, though, with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. But stuck energy. I feel she has a few things to go through. She will step down, though. I don't see her being there. Two. But there's some fight coming from her and from those parents. She's going to have a real hard time. All right. So this is a movie. I apologize. I will see you tomorrow. That's all I got. Okay. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like the video because that is how people see me. Please comment down below. I enjoyed this conversation with you and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.